DJ Sus One, man.
Right here on Hip Hop Nation.
Yep. I'm here, baby. It's feature presentation radio show. DJ Sus One, Alyi B is here co-hosting.
Yes,
What's
I
good?
am. What's going on?
Salute to everybody on the check-in on my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and all that from across the country. Everybody's tuned in. We'll give y'all shout-outs in a few.
Yes.
But right now, we got a special guest in the building. First time on my show.
Yes.
I've seen him periodically in L.A. and around the industry because he's doing big things out here. Can I have an applause for Jidenna in the building right now?
Jidenna.
He's applauding
I'm
himself.
so excited for this.
Hey, thank y'all. It's a pleasure to be here. First time.
You've been all around. Like, what is going on? Why haven't you made this stop earlier?
I know. I mean, a little bit of here, a little bit of
I
there.
know.
No, it's a pleasure. Honestly, it's an honor to be on the show for the first time.
Thank you, bro.
And it's great to be in. It's funny because, like you said, I'm actually based. My real base is in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. So
Dope.
it's not that far. But you know, sometimes success will take you around the world before you come back home.
So I learned something new about you today. I just didn't know. I don't know why I didn't know this. So let me tell you about myself. I'm black and white.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you too.
Sussman, yeah. Sus comes from Sussman. My dad's Jewish, white man. My mom's black from the South.
Wow. Okay.
So I learned that about you today, that you're black and white. You're from Nigeria and you have a white side of your family.
Yeah.
So automatically, me, you, and Drake need to go have some drinks
I
immediately.
know.
You know
We
what I'm
gotta have
saying?
some dialogue.
We need to have a powwow and see how we can get more of us to take over the world. Evil plan.
Dope.
No, but that was a good thing that I learned. So I wanted to, I don't know much about your upbringing, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to ask you because me coming up mixed was very difficult for me. Like, I also DJ for Mariah, and she's mixed, and she was telling me how she came up like that, and she had a lot of difficulty, like in high school and different things like that, of how the kids used to treat her, and how a lot of people used to treat her. And I didn't experience racism until I got to school, so I just want to know if you experienced that type of same situations growing up.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, my first day of coming to America, because I was originally from Nigeria. The first day of school.
No pun intended of the movie. The movie.
There was a kid named Philip.
Oh, he remembers the name.
I know. Okay.
His name was Philip, and he had a mushroom bowl cut, like this 90s kid. And he actually, I was sitting in the science seat, and I was saying my 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, but I said E, F, G, H, I, J, and I said H, and everybody's like, yeah. And then I said 1, 2, 3. And when I said tree, he laughed at me, turned around, punched me, and called me an African nigger.
Wow.
And that was my welcome to the United States of America. So that to me, that like immediately, and mind you, and you'll relate to this, I come home on the bus, I'm crying, running to my mom's, and I'm asking her like, what is a nigger?
Mm-hmm.
No idea what it is. Because I came from Nigeria, I had no idea, and I had to ask my white mother what that was.
Wow.
That was my introduction. So I'd say to start, definitely.
I know that was a strong start to an interview, right? But it's just that I can relate to that, man. Like, I didn't know, growing up, my mom black, my father white. When I got to school, when they was like, you speak white. First of all, I don't even understand what that means. I guess because I speak educated, it's just an ignorant statement. But they used to say I speak white, or is he black or white or whatever? And I'm mixed, and I just didn't experience that energy until I got to school. So I was just curious.
It's always ironic because one of the blackest men in history, Malcolm X, spoke very articulate.
Yes.
And he spoke with diction and conviction. And nobody would ever say, but some people may have teased him initially.
Coming up, maybe.
Coming up,
Right.
yeah.
Do you feel like it's changed you, like all the success and the attention that you've been getting?
It changed different aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm.
To go out and go on a day, I got to dress down.
Really? I
Yeah,
can't
so-
imagine you dressing down.
I meant to
and me
ask
and
him that.
Suswan had this conversation. Suswan was like, does he ever wear like PJs or something? I'm
I have not seen, obviously, I'm sure he wasn't born with a suit on, but I have yet to see a picture of you just, pause, in a sweatsuit, you know what I'm saying? Or just.
in
Good.
the VMAs he was. You was dressed down to me in the VMAs compared to your norm.
The VMAs I had was in Nigeria. We call it up and down.
Okay.
Up and down. That was a certain thing. It's a different kind of suit that you'll see in West Africa, Nigeria,
Okay.
across the continent. So that was a different look. It wasn't
Okay.
a regular suit. But I'm not going to bed in a 3-piece. That's morbid. That's scary. That's eerie. If I'm falling
Do you wear
asleep like
uptowns?
this.
That would be hilarious,
Do you
just
wear
by the way.
Timberlands?
Yeah, I got all that in my
Yeah?
closet. Yeah. And I mean, I grew up on that. So
Do you have a pair of Jordans?
I do have a pair of J's.
Okay.
I have a pair of Nikes. I got a pair of Chucks. I got a pair of every kind
Okay.
of sneaker or tennis shoe. But, it's like I wear it for certain occasions. I think
Okay.
other people do the opposite. They'll wear the suit for certain occasions. Me, it's like I wear the rest of my wardrobe for certain occasions.
It's so crazy because of course he's worn other things, but when you get branded as the classic man, people just start saying stupid shit. But of course, whatever. But anyway, we're going to talk more about things like politics and things going on in your life and things in hip hop. Yeah. I want to play, of course, Classic Man. I want to play a little bit more. Talk to me about the single a little bit more, real quick.
Well, a little bit more is it's a product of a few producers I always work with. I produce myself. I always work with Nana as my co-producer and my guy. My other guy, Roman John Arthur, who was featured on Classic Man. This is the whole team that made A Little Bit More. We're the leaders on the project. Okay. A Little Bit More was started with a drum loop, a break beat from a Ugandan artist, Eddie Kenzo, who had this record, Sit Your Loss. And we built it from that. And after that, we just built the Afro beats, rhythm, the melody, and they all came together.
Nice. All right, so we're going to play Classic Man, of course. Then we're going to play a little bit more. We're going to talk more to Jidenna. Hit me up at DJ Sus1, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at Alyi V. Let's get it. It's Hip Hop Nation. In the building.
Like a club over here.
Now, let me tell you something, Jidenna. Not to make this a race thing again, talking about race in the interview.
Okay.
But he obviously got the black side of dancing because I do not dance like that. He's in the studio dancing with his team to the record, and he's on point with the dancing. Yes. I tried this two-step. I failed miserably.
Jidenna, do you Millie rock? Tell me, do you Millie rock? I need to know.
I mean, mostly I think the thing is
do
like.
You dab?
Do I?
Like what?
Do you dab? Do you Millie rock? I mean, I think the thing is, man, at the end of the day, man, it's just how your body moves.
Word.
I think a lot of I don't do this, I don't play this, I don't sing this, I don't rap this.
It's the energy.
It's energy, and do you feel yourself?
Word.
I mean, I ain't trying to look like nobody or dance like nobody. I'm just moving how I feel.
I hear you.
I try to move how I feel, and it's just not a good situation.
It doesn't work.
You got that Too Short rocking. You know, I used to live in the Bay, in east side of Oakland, East Palo Alto. So I'm like,
what's the signature move in Nigeria?
In Nigeria?
Yeah, what's the signature move? Shucky?
Yeah, it's different
Shucky.
on this beat, but you like.
Okay.
And then you just bring it down.
Okay,
He got the background dancers in the studio for everybody that can't see.
Yeah, so
you lived all over, man.
Yeah,
like, you
man.
lived in
it's like
Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, it's hard for me to find like one central home, but I got bases everywhere. Enugu, Nigeria is when I grew up. Boston, moved to the Bay for college, and then LA every summer. Then New York, which is the city I say I became a man in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. I grew up coming here too as well. And then I've been working in Atlanta in studios down there for a while. So I got the four corners of the U.S. and I got 2 continents in there.
I don't know how much money you have or how much money you've made in this game, but if you could buy your ultimate dream house that you're gonna live in for the rest of your life, where would that be?
I would never buy one house.
All right, swag out on this right
now. No,
right,
because it's not. I don't have that dream, man. My dream ain't like a big crib and like 8 Lamborghinis and like a dog and a lovely wife. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my dream, man.
What's Jidenna's dream?
My dream is my whole crew, my whole tribe got compounds everywhere in the world. Different places, man. From Istanbul to Marrakesh to Tokyo to Lagos to Johannesburg, man. It's like all over the world, in Boston, New York, wherever. And we have spots where we have kids and we can raise them together. But you know, in that network, you can go to that spot and you'll be okay to leave your kids there.
Yeah.
That's me. Now this is wishful thinking. I'm a single man. I don't have a wife yet or kids.
Tell me if this is true. Now, not to sound ignorant. I'm just, call me Yankee boy, American, whatever.
Yankee boy.
Is it true that you guys can have in Nigeria and Africa that you guys have more than one wife?
Africa is a very big, it's a huge continent. So there's no way I can answer that for everybody, but I'll say that in certain parts, certain regions, by myself, just for myself. No, in different regions, it depends. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on your religion. It depends on your ethnic group. And certain places, it's a matriarchal society as well. So I can't say it for one place. I will say my grandfather had 7 wives, though. And so coming up, I was trying to figure that out.
Like father, like son. Okay, listen, I want to talk to you about things going on in America right now. Obviously, the debate happened few days ago.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about politics a little bit because I know you used to. I saw something that said you used to teach and all that, right?
Yeah, I taught in every borough in New York except Staten Island.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
No disrespect to Staten Island, but
I would have come there too. We didn't operate there.
But for the future of America, for our kids and everything, what do you think about the election? What do you think about the two, Trump and Hillary, and how do you feel about the whole situation?
I'm embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm embarrassed as an American. I'm embarrassed in some ways as a man.
Really?
Explain.
People ain't even talking about this. If this was two men, man, you ever think like a bozo like Trump would be going against another man? I don't think so. I don't think that like those are not two even competitors. She, to me, and I know some people here and who are listening may not like Hillary Clinton and they may not like her as a future candidate. I get that. I totally understand that. I'm not necessarily drawn to her personality. But if I look at her qualifications, she definitely meets the qualifications of being a president of the United States in the so-called free world. And he doesn't. And I don't think that like we would have gotten to this place where a bozo, she's looking, when you see her look, the memes of her
right.
looking like this with her fist on her chin, that's because she's like, why am I facing against this guy? And I'm sure somewhere in her mind she's like, if this is, as a woman, I don't think two men would be facing off like that. They were against this guy.
Well, that's a good question. Why do you think Trump is even being allowed to run?
I don't know if it's him being allowed. You may think so. I don't know. I think that he actually he maneuvered it.
You said he was entertaining though, so yeah, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
He's
but
one of the
sports
most
is entertaining.
Saw comic books and he looks like one. But he made it. I mean, we're in America. We suckers for that.
Now, let's say hypothetically speaking, if he were to win, what would be the moves that you would make? Will you absolutely leave the United States and
he
never
can go to
come back?
Nigeria immediately?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could go to Nigeria.
I would leave the country probably.
I'd
quit radio.
If I leave, I ain't leaving alone.
Okay.
If I leave, I'm bringing 100,000 at least. That are from America and the Caribbean, America, Latin America. 100,000 at least. There's a Delta flight straight shot to Lagos, Nigeria. I'm not going alone if I leave, but I'm not trying to leave, man. I'm not a sucker like that.
Right.
Somebody like that comes on, I'll get him out. I'll pull all my strings, all my favors that are owed to me. And that's one person. If all of us think like that, we'll get him out. We'll move something else. Hey, I know exactly who I'm against. And what he stands for, I'm against that. I ain't with anything that he says.
I was saying behind the scenes, I'm a conspiracy, and I was asking if you're into conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? And you said, I don't know if it's conspiracy because what I'm about is actually going on. Do you believe that the presidents actually matter right now, or do you think they're just puppets? Do you think they're actually running the country? Do you think the votes actually really matter the way they sell it to the public? Or do you think there is manipulation behind the scenes that's puppeting, the whole situation?
I'll say two things. I think definitely the presidents matter because at the end of the day, it's still the perception that the public and the masses have of the president. If they believe that and we believe that he or she is in power, then that has a certain effect on us. Like President Barack Obama being in power has an effect on a 6-year-old right now.
Right.
No matter whether or not you think they're pulling all the strings, the fact that they see that man and see the First Lady Michelle Obama, see that family, that has a certain effect. They're like, people that look like him, maybe I can be president. But do I think that the president has as much power as I think people think? No, absolutely not. There's more people involved, that's all. It's like most things. Every artist you see, are they doing all that on their own? Is their record really spinning just because you like it?
That's a good way to look at it.
It's like every single thing you have, every company, every brand.
Why do you feel like most artists get a lot of attention overseas versus New York, like in the States?
In the States.
Why do you think that is? They're more accepted in the UK. People really applause them, where if they come here, people wouldn't even know who they are.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. For example, you look at radio, right? In the UK, there's less stations. And the music gets played on top of each other, different genres right next to each other. as opposed to here we kind of segment and segregate each different genre, and we say you're UAC, you're urban adult contemporary, you're urban, and you're rhythmic, and you're pop, and we can go further, you're country. So when you live in that kind of society, things are more separate. I think UK is more accepting of different sides, different emotions. They're okay to be more vulnerable, I feel, than we are. The US is kind of beat yourself on the chest, especially New York.
So you think it's more about titles here?
Titles? What do you mean by that?
Titles like who wins the best song of the year, who wins the best artist of the year, who like titles.
Nah, I just think it's the way we have a bigger country, and the way our radio is broken up too. The surface area here is amazing. We have a huge population, so you're not gonna be able to centralize music in the same way. But I think that in the UK they have a more, I see this in places like California, a wider acceptance of different kinds of music.
Right. So
you don't have to fit just one mold, and therefore I think they produce some of the best music in the world.
If you're just tuning in, Jidenna's in the building. 866 60 hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's DJ Sus on the feature presentation, Alyi V. Let's play this record right here.
I mean, I think it's about time for a body of work from this guy.
Yes.
So I told this guy we could put out some things, and the project we're putting out is Long Live the Chief.
Why that title?
That was the second record we ever put out after Classic Man. And I felt like it embodied what I was trying to do with the work, which was when the old chief passes, the new chief comes, and you say, Long Live the Chief. And my father passed, so I wanted to make an album that was dedicated to really his teachings to me.
Okay. What was the best thing he ever taught you in life?
Best thing?
Best thing.
Yeah, that guy taught me a lot, man. He was in and out of my life, like probably most fathers for most people. But like later in life, I've realized there was a bunch of things. There's one that he always said. He said, Jidenna, if you are to be remembered in this life, you have to be the first, the best, or the last. Because nobody remembers anybody else. You have to be the first, the best, or the last. So if you can be all three at the same time, then you'll be remembered.
Nice.
That's a tweetable.
Yes. Applaud that, please.
I like that.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. I'll be here all week. I surely appreciate your applause.
Who does Jidenna listen to in his whip? Because for some reason I feel like you listen to the most ratchet music of all time in your car.
I do. You sussed me out. Yeah, no, I mean, it just depends, man. Like, it depends where I'm going. Like, if I'm going to Magic City to meet up and see Young Thug, then I'm probably gonna bump that Jeffrey, Travis Scott, a lot of what's going on right now, and everybody. I love Uzi Vert and I love Don Q. I love Young M.A.
Nice.
Yeah, Don Q's like, to me, the new Styles P of this generation.
Let me say something real quick, because you mentioned Uzi, which respect to Uzi, because we interviewed him before, and respect to DJ Drama, and you mentioned Don Q. I come from the era of the 90s and the real spitters. Now, no disrespect to anybody, but Don Q was my type of shit.
Don Q's crazy.
Yeah, so how do you feel about, like, guys of that compared to the new swag that's going on right now, where it's more of a vibe?
He is the new swag. He's young.
Him and Young M.A. feel like they're young, but they're from the 90s somehow. I don't know.
Hey,
I feel like
man.
they just transported.
You know what? I think what happened is, like, I don't know, man. These are my conspiracies about, like, the new era and the internet and what it does, and streaming and what it does to how we receive music. They're old souls, but their soul goes to the 90s. I'm an old soul. I just didn't happen, even though I'm from some of the same neighborhoods as Young M.A., I went this way, you know what I'm saying? And I embraced it this way. What I think is great about what's going on is you have that diversity right now in hip-hop. So I think that's a positive thing that's going on, and I love them, and I love what they're doing. But I don't just listen to them. I might go to, like, Nat King Cole era and bump that, like, hard, like turn the bass up on Nat King Cole.
You don't know about Nat King Cole. I'll school you later. I'll tell you that.
Yes, she does.
Here we go.
Nat King Cole's the
He
holiday.
does this all the time, by the way.
The holiday.
She listened to Selena using
I,
Nat King.
would you stop?
I was just like, Selena was that chick.
She was that chick.
and Shakira. I listen.
Shakira.
I bump Shakira right now.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you got little Latinas in there that you listen to?
Of course.
Okay.
So I want
Hector
to.
Lavoe. I was just bumping.
Oh, he knows.
Hector
Look,
on
why
the
all the
way.
Latin fam in the room was like, yes,
No,
yes,
Joel
talk that shit.
Ortiz has been sampling him and No Panty. Like I love what's going on. So I'm listening to a lot of things right now.
Totally.
Let's ask a couple of questions. I'm gonna let you ask those questions in a few, but I want to ask you a couple of questions real quick. J. Cole, Drake, or Kendrick?
I don't do those either ors, man.
Really?
Nah,
No,
is it
big,
really?
no Biggie,
so,
Jay-Z, or Nas?
So sad about that. Like,
It's hip-hop.
this is what we do. We debate. Nah, I don't. I would if I really felt a strong opinion. I think maybe because I'm an artist, I'm looking at J. Cole and I take certain things. I look at Kendrick. Who was the third one you said? You said
Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole.
Drake. Like those are three different artists to me.
And then I was gonna say 90s Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, but you know.
I can tell you where I was.
Okay.
Like I went through my Nas phase initially. That was the first guy, and then when I started wanting to have more money in my pocket than a bus pass, like I started listening to Jay-Z. He felt like the more entrepreneurial minded. Then I became older and loved both of them because then Nas makes the Forbes list as well with his investments that were more long term. And so, I mean, that was like, that's perfect. I'm glad we had those
Yes.
fights. I mean, I hope that we have the equivalent in my generation for the kids. Like, what would you say the two? You say Kendrick and Drake and
I
and
think
Cole.
she's gonna hate me for this because she's a huge Jay-Z fan, as we all are. But
Mm-hmm.
I think today's Jay-Z is Drake,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. Today's generation's Jay-Z is Drake,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean, they're two different, you know.
Like
Yeah.
he said I turned into Jay.
Yeah.
You know, when he said.
But some people will argue that. They'll say he's more of a pop star, blah, 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 whatever. But I think he's
Right.
today's generation's Jay-Z.
No, I mean, I appreciate what he does. I appreciate what his team does as well.
Yeah.
Like OVO, man, like,
Nah, they killing it.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people hate, but man, they've really come together and made a star out the guy, man. So,
Yeah.
peace to them.
So you had a couple of questions before we sign out of here?
Yes. It's a little game. Are you ready?
All right.
Finish this sentence.
Oh, Lord.
I wish that I could.
Rule the world.
Nice.
What bothers me the most is when
Donald Trump is on air.
I agree.
I would love to make out with.
Come on, man. There's so many options. Halle Berry,
I know,
Jennifer
that's
Lopez.
that's why my mind is like, yeah, I don't know. When I was younger, I wanted to make out with Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Those
I would
my
love
first
to
crushes.
style.
Somebody funky like DJ Sus One.
Ah, which means my shit is not lit right now. Anyway, go
It's hard saying goodbye to.
My mother.
This year will be the year where I prove
That I'm a well-rounded, versatile artist.
the only thing that I'm certain is the fact that I don't know.
What God is exactly.
I like that. I'm going to
That's
talk to you about that
dope.
off the air. All right, well,
That's all I have.
Jidenna, man, I'm looking
True
forward to more.
story. Facts upon facts.
I'm looking forward to more music, my brother. I can't wait to hear more. You're very talented. Applaud Jidenna for coming to the feature presentation radio show.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
salute to Leah, who's watching anxiously and making sure we don't ask no crazy shit. All right? Applaud him one more time.
Yeah,
Give him
yeah.
your social
Yes.
media. I'm sure everybody knows. what
Yes,
talking about.
yes. Most importantly, know how to spell the name. JIDENNA at Jidenna, Facebook.com/Jidenna, Jidenna.com. You will find me. I'll find you.
Dope.
Nice. That sounds kind of stalkerish.
Yeah.
But all right, it's the feature presentation
I
radio
found you.
show.